start.
Okay, you're on.
Okay. Hi everybody, good morning. Welcome to World Vegetarian Day. My name is Chef Lisa Brooks Williams, and I'm here to share with you recipes for weight loss and vibrant health. Who wants vibrant health? We all want vibrant health. Does anybody here want weight loss? Okay. Well, first, let's get the numbers out of the way. A little over 2 years ago, I was 100 pounds heavier than I am now. I was in the 280s, now I'm in the 180s. I still have a little ways to go, but I'm a lot better off than where I used to be. Wouldn't you say? Yeah. That's a lot better off. Yeah. So I'm very grateful for that. And so I'd like to show you, because you know how they say a picture is like 1,000 words? Well, I'd like to show you something else. I don't know. I'll come back, okay? I'll come back into the frame. So this is one of the shirts that I used to wear. Wow. I used to wear this size shirt, and this is a 24 woman's shirt. And these used to be the jeans that I used to wear, and they were tight on me. And they were tight. And, okay, I'm not going to flash you, I just want to show you my belt. So right now, I never used to wear belts, because when you're really fat, you don't wear belts. But when I did wear belts, I used to have to wear it, and it could barely fit on the last rung. And now, look where it is. So this is great. So this is great. And I wanted to share with you some of the things that have helped me to lose this weight. And before we start, I want to introduce you to my intern, Valeria Rodriguez. And so she's going to be helping me. And if any of you like what I do and are interested in learning more, you can talk with me about interning, because it's fun, isn't it?
I love it. It's so much fun. And you learn so much. And your flavors are uncomparable to anything else.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so when we get up in the morning, what do you do in the morning?
Coffee.
You do coffee? Okay. You do coffee and, okay.
Eat breakfast.
Well, when I get up in the morning, I like to have some superfoods. And so everything in the plant kingdom is full of nutrients, but sometimes you want to add a little extra boost of something super. And one of my favorite superfoods is spirulina. Anybody here a fan of spirulina? Okay. And so spirulina is a wonderful superfood. It comes from the sea, and spirulina has the highest protein per weight of any food on the planet. That's pretty cool. A heck of a lot more protein than beef. And as a matter of fact, when we're talking about nutrients, kale, which is also going to be a part of our smoothie, is considered the new beef. As a matter of fact, Dr. Joel Furman is selling t-shirts that say, kale is the new beef. Isn't that great? Don't you agree? Better than beef?
Yes.
I'd rather eat kale than beef any day.
It tastes better.
That's right. So to make our smoothie, we're also going to add another superfood, and it's chia. Okay, so chia is not for smoothing on the head of some plaything letting it grow scraps. Chia is a wonderful, wonderful seed, a miracle seed. And actually, it is not only high in protein, but also high in omega-3 and omega-6. Now, you could just take the dried chia seeds and put it into your smoothie, but what we're going to do is we're going to make a gel out of it. Now, what you can do is you can use water or you can use apple juice. So today, we're just going to use some organic apple juice, and the ratio that I like to do is a 1 to 9. So for every 1 teaspoon or 1 tablespoon, you're going to add 9 parts of liquid. Now I've done this with apple juice, coconut water, pineapple juice, just whatever liquid that you want, just to make this gel. And usually we like to let it sit for about 20 minutes, and then this can last in the refrigerator for up to a week. Now I recommend that everybody gets about a half of a cup of chia gel a day. And I'll tell you, you won't need coffee anymore because chia invigorates you and it hydrates you and it makes you feel sated. And it also is essential for detoxing the body because of its mucilaginous properties. And I'll tell you about a few of the other ingredients that are essential for detoxing as well. And if you want to lose weight, all of your toxins are stored in your fat. And you want to get, as you release the fat, the toxins, where do you think they go? They go into the body, and you want to get them out. So being able to have chia is a great way to do it. If you don't like chia, aloe vera juice, cilantro, those are all wonderful mucilaginous detoxing properties. So we've got our liquid gel, and we're just going to let that set for a moment. Oh, could you also get me a small knife, please? Yes, small knife. And so what we're going to do is, this is a grasshopper smoothie. And on Facebook, somebody said to me, are you going to put grasshoppers in here? I was like, no, that's not vegan. But I heard some hippie people do eat grasshoppers, but there's no...
High in protein.
It's high in protein, that's right. That's right. Thank you. So what we're going to do, I call it grasshopper because what's the color of grass?
Green.
It's green, and green is good. Everybody say, green is good.
Green is good.
Okay, so remember I said kale is the new beef? So one of the base ingredients for our smoothie is going to be a nice handful of kale. And of course, this is organic kale, and I take the stem off of it. And the reason I take the stem off of it is because it's kind of woody, and it'll make the smoothie too thick.
Yeah.
Now you can juice the stems, or you can compost the stems, but you don't want to have the stems in your smoothie. The next green ingredient, let's put a little more kale in there. You guys can take it, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're going to put that in there. Then we're going to put in some parsley. Now you might be saying, Lisa, this is going to taste like some Italian soup. But don't worry, it's not going to taste like an Italian soup smoothie. The parsley is quite refreshing, and it's great in smoothies. And the parsley is also very good for the body. So we're going to stick some parsley in there as well. Now we're not done with our greens, folks, because we're also going to add our favorite spinach. Now if you find kale to be too strong for you, or you find parsley to be too strong, you can make this smoothie with just spinach, because spinach has a very neutral flavor, and it's always good to be able to have in your smoothie. Okay, here we go. Now, we're also going to add a few other key ingredients. Spirulina. Now, this is going to make the smoothie super, super green. So I don't want you to be afraid. I mean, this is super, super stuff here. So I recommend just using a teaspoon, and this is what it looks like. And later, I'm going to put this in the chocolate. So you guys, I'm just letting you know, we're going to have a lot of spirulina today. All right? I'm just going to put in a little extra. I want you guys to have a good day. I want you to have that energy. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Are you okay with that? All right. Nobody's scared? Okay. I don't want anybody to be scared. Okay.
No.
All right. And so our chia gel isn't quite ready yet, but that's okay. We're just going to put it in. But you guys get the basic premise of how to do the chia gel, right? Okay. So 1 part chia to 9 parts liquid. And usually you let it soak for about 20 to 30 minutes, and it will keep in the refrigerator for 1 week. And I recommend a ½ cup of chia gel a day, and you can easily get that in your smoothie. Yeah.
I have 2 questions. Did you do the same principle with the stems of the parsley? You didn't use them, or?
I did not use the stems of the parsley because, the stems can tend to make it a little bitter.
Okay.
Okay? But you could put the stems in. But I'm just choosing, I want this to be a real nice and flavorful smoothie for everybody.
And just with the, I guess, chia and flax, you always use water before you mix it? Or?
With flax, when I use flax, I grind my flax and then put it into the smoothie. But when I'm making crackers, I add water to my flaxseed and allow it to gel for an hour. And that's what holds my raw crackers together. And as a matter of fact, everybody's going to get a raw cracker. One of my famous raw crackers with your salad. Do you want to try it?
Yeah.
Okay.
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 You're saying with the chia, gel it first. So obviously first.
Yes, gel it first, but you don't have to, but it's recommended because the mucilage is where the benefits come. And we're going to add our wonderful apple. In Pennsylvania, we call the apple nature's toothbrush. Anybody ever heard of that? No, nobody ever heard of it? Okay, all right, he did. Mike heard of it. Yeah, so nature's toothbrush. So We just loved it. And they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And I don't know if that's the case, but I love eating my apples. Now, because this is an organic apple, we can eat the seeds and we can put them in the Vitamix. If you don't have a Vitamix, then I wouldn't recommend. I wouldn't recommend it. Now, I do recommend cutting the label off because you don't want to eat the label, right? Okay.
There's not toxins in the seeds?
Not if they're organic apples.
Really?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, it's extra added fiber. And Victoria Bachenko, who, most of you have heard of Victoria Bachenko, she always eats the seeds.
Huh.
And so, yes. And so we're going to put that in there. And there's extra seed. There you go. And we have another ingredient to kick it up a notch, as Emerald would say. We're going to put in some ginger, or a lot of Asian markets call it gangal. And so we're going to take a knob of it, and we're just going to peel the knob. And you don't have to peel it, but I'm choosing to peel it. And okay, there we go. All right. Just cut it. I love ginger. And ginger is an excellent anti-inflammatory. And it's going to give it a little bit of heat. Okay.
Are there any vitamins in the peel, or is there any benefit to keeping it?
Honestly, I don't know. I've always peeled my ginger. And I love ginger. And we're going to use ginger in the salad dressing today. So, because it's just a great anti-inflammatory and does great things for the body. And when you have superfoods and when you have foods like ginger that have heat, you don't miss the sugar. Because you're substituting a flavor. And when you also add chili, you don't need as much salt. So that is something that has helped me with my weight loss too. All right, so here we go. All right, we turn it on. Okay. Look how green that is. Isn't that exciting? Okay. And what we're going to do is I'm going to add a few ice cubes to it. I'm going to take off the top. Okay, doesn't that look great?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the start of the smoothie. You can add some extra bananas, some extra greens, and this is a lot of really wonderful flavor. And so we're gonna, we should get a sample cup. I'm gonna have somebody in the audience sample it.
All right.
So what I like to do is I like to choose somebody from the audience, and they can tell me, oh, Lisa, I think it needs a little more ginger, I think it needs a little more banana, and you can tailor it to your taste. And that's what's great about superfood smoothies. Now, what do you guys like to put in your smoothies? Anybody? Mike?
Tomato, avocado, red pepper, and kale.
Ah, yum. So you like a savory smoothie?
Savory, yeah. No,
Okay.
like fruit.
So you like it savory? And who else wanted to share what they like in their smoothie?
Blueberries.
Apples?
Almonds.
Almonds, yes. Almonds are fantastic as well. And so who wants to be the first person to try the grasshopper?
Well, I'm thinking of a number. Let's see who gets this 1 to 10.
7.
9.
3.
Who said
7.
7, and 9? So those two are the closest. It was 8.
Okay. Well, how about the guy in the back?
Yeah.
Let's give it to Mike. Okay. All right, Mike. And we want to see how you feel after this.
You don't want to get all of our
Thank
opinions?
you.
Okay, we're going to pass it around. We're going to pass it around.
Everybody likes different things.
Okay.
Everybody's gonna get some.
It's really pretty perfect. The only thing I might add is just a tad more ginger. But
A tad more ginger?
I love ginger.
Okay. I'm just gonna add to this, make a little extra, and then so we have enough for everybody because we've had more people come into the room. Yes. Would you please
Thank
give
you,
me a little
ladies.
bit? Oh, sure.
Lemon is great if you don't use banana.
Oh.
Just have like a green.
Oh, yeah.
Lemon is.
And so Yeah, and so the ginger is really fun to be able to put in there. Okay. As a matter of fact, I'll put in one more knob, another little knob. And I like the way they call a piece of ginger a knob. I like that. I've heard some people call it a knuckle. Okay. Now, one of the things that is great about being able to have a smoothie is that, you know, traditionally people in the morning have a lot of sugar. And one of the sad facts, and what I used to be is I used to be a sugar addict. And it's hard for me to say that I was an addict, because normally when we think of addicts, we think of drug addicts, heroin addicts, alcoholics, gambling addicts, but I was addicted to sugar. I would have one piece of candy and end up eating the whole box. There was something that took over in my mind that made me feel like obsessed and compulsed. And once I got off of all the processed foods and got off of the sugar, that obsession went away. And I'm very grateful for that.
How long did that take for you to feel that it was out of your system?
About 3 weeks to 30 days. 3 weeks to 30 days of no sugar and no caffeine. And I also gave up flour and processed foods. And that is what has helped me immensely in my journey. Okay, we'll get some apple in here. I want to make sure that it's not too full to blend. And cut this off a little more. And I hear so many people say, well, I can't give up sugar. I can't give it up. And you don't know that until you try. Because it is possible and it is doable. So we'll put in another big chunk of parsley, some more kale, get it in there, and some more spinach. Now, I was just going over my facts before my presentation, and one of the things that is really scary, and it's an alarming fact, is that Americans consume a half a cup of sugar a day on average. That's the average American. And we know an obese American is consuming more than a half a cup of sugar a day. So that equals about 141 to 150 pounds of sugar. Is there anybody here that weighs about 150 pounds? Okay, so they're consuming like your weight in sugar, the average person. Isn't that kind of creepy?
It is.
If you think about it.
It's so bad for you.
Right, and it's kind of scary. And it's kind of scary. You know how much sugar the average person should have?
Nothing.
6 teaspoons of sugar a day. It's what is recommended by specialists. And one of the best books on the market is Suicide by Sugar by Dr. Nancy Appleton. And she has done a lot of research on sugar addiction. And she said that 6 teaspoons of sugar a day, and that you should not have more than 2 teaspoons of sugar at one time.
What's the last name again?
Dr. Nancy Appleton.
What
And
about-
Suicide by Sugar.
She doesn't advocate stopping sugar altogether?
Well, she advocates, stopping sugar. But if you are going to consume sugar, no more than 6 teaspoons a day.
And
Because
the
it's-
fruit you have in there has sugar in it, so are you breaking up what type of fructose you're putting in there? Like, is it from the plant versus is it from refined?
I believe that she was referring to refined sugar when she said 6 teaspoons. And the reason is, here, let me blend this and then I'll talk. Oh. Okay.
Did you
Yes.
replace your sugar addiction with other sweets though?
Well, when what I did was my sugars were coming from fruits and from stevia, and so that was basically what I was doing. I gave up all aspartame because you all know that aspartame is an excitotoxin, and Dr. Russell Blaylock, MD, in his book Excitotoxins: The Taste That Kills. Go ahead. Let's get a little bit excitotoxins, the taste that kills. Talks about excitotoxins, how they excite the neurons in the brain, and they can cause little brain bleeds. And he says that that's evidence in lab animals that he tested. But yet, NutraSweet still got passed by the FDA. And I say passed, you know, because Donald Rumsfeld was in charge of the FDA when it went through. And it's also GMO. It's also GMO. And one of the things that I learned also is that sugar is one of the most genetically modified crops. It's like in the top 10, because most sugar comes from beets. And these beets are genetically modified. Now, I said that the average person consumes about 141 to 150 pounds of sugar. Well, that's not even including high fructose corn syrup. Because you know corn is one of the most genetically modified crops. The average person consumes 66 pounds of high fructose corn syrup a year.
You have to look at the labels.
66 pounds. So you're getting 141 to 150 pounds of sugar and 66 pounds of high fructose corn syrup. And I was like, no wonder I was addicted. No wonder we have an obesity epidemic. But getting those things out of your life is not that difficult, and you can still make healthy living delicious. Okay, so while Valeria is pouring the smoothie for everyone, let's go on to lunchtime. So at lunchtime, you want to have a good salad, right? Everybody wants to have a good salad? So let me show you how to have a good salad with a delicious dressing. Now, a lot of the dressings on the market, everybody knows, is garbage, right? As a matter of fact, in 7C's, you've all heard of 7C's salad dressing. It stays on the shelf for sometimes, it has an expiration date, of a year, but it can last for a long time on the shelf. And when they did an analysis, they found that the dressing was full of mites.
Oh,
Yes,
no.
it was full of mites.
Inside
Inside the dressing.
Inside the jar.
Inside the jar.
Bottle.
Yes. Right. I swear, all of this is evidence-based. All of this is true.
How did they get in there?
I don't know. But there's so many chemicals and so much processing with a lot of the dressings. And they have different types of thickeners, and a lot of the dressings have the high fructose corn syrup in them. But I'm going to show you how to make a dressing that is really yummy
I think
and
that they would die in the process of making the dressing, like when they do that.
that's just what the research report that I found said. They were probably dead mites. I don't think they were alive mites.
Like
But
ground up.
they found mites, M-I-T-E, not mice, not M-I-C-E, mites, M-I-T-E-S, mites. Yes, not a mouse, not a mouse, no. Okay, so to make my land and sea vegetable salad, we're going to use vegetables from the land and vegetables from the sea. Now, how many people are into sea vegetables? Seaweeds? Okay, because you know why you need to consume seaweeds? Because they
Mineralized.
iodine, right, for iodine, but one of the most important reasons that sea vegetables are good for the body is not only they're full of minerals, but they also are, because of their mucilaginous properties, are good for detoxing the body. Because, seaweed in the ocean, it's like the cleanser of the ocean.
Right.
So when we consume seaweed, it can help our bodies too. And because I have an autoimmune disease with my thyroid, I want to be able to give it nutrients that are healthy and not synthetic. So I like eating a lot of sea vegetables. And they're good for you. So the base of our salad, everybody, is going to be what?
Kale.
Which is the new beef. That's right. And it's the highest in nutrient density. It's the highest in nutrient density of any plant on the planet. So lots of nutrients for its weight. So we're going to put our kale on the bottom of our salad.
This is yummy.
Oh, thank you.
It's a good balance smoothie.
Oh, good. We're going to have our kale on the bottom. We want to get a lot of kale in our salad. And then we're also going to take some romaine lettuce. Now, the reason why we're doing romaine lettuce in this salad is because in terms of all the lettuces, romaine is the highest in nutrient density, and we want to keep that crunch going. Because, you know, iceberg lettuce has crunch, but it's very low in nutrients. Right, and then the spring mix, it's not crunchy. So that's why we're going to use our romaine. So we're going to put our romaine in there. And this is a beautiful salad. I left my clear salad bowl at home, so I'm so sorry. So, but you guys can see up here in the mirror. And then once I toss it, you'll be able to see everything as well too.
So chiffonade means in ribbons?
Yes, chiffonade means you cut it in ribbons.
So you have less chewing to do.
Right.
Especially with the kale.
And also with the kale, you want to cut it in small pieces so it's more easily digestible into the body. So we're also going to add in here, we're going to add some carrots, some shredded carrots. Look at that. Oh, wonderful. So we'll get our beautiful carrots. And let me tell you, everybody, one of the things that Colleen Patrick Boudreau said, I think is really powerful. Because so many people say, oh, being vegetarian takes too much work. It's too much chopping. And she said in one of her talks here at World Veg Day not too long ago, aren't you worth an extra 10 to 20 minutes a day to chop your vegetables? You have to realize that you are worth it. It's what you put into it. And it did take me more time eating healthier, you know, and preparing my food. But once you get in the hang of it, you can prepare enough salad to last you a couple of days and enough chopped vegetables to steam, you know, that can last you for a few days and making soups. And once you get the gist of it, everything is great. Okay. Right, so we've got our beautiful purple cabbage, and cabbage is a wonderful cruciferous vegetable. And cruciferous vegetables are good for, anybody know?
Cancer.
For cancer, right, they're nature's roto-rooters. Isn't that a cute way to think of it? And another wonderful vegetable is we're going to put in some red bell peppers, and I also got some beautiful white organic bell peppers. So we're going to stick those in. Yes. And so eating cruciferous vegetables every day is essential for good digestive health. We're going to add some cucumbers, and the cucumbers, I've taken the seeds out of them because the seeds will make it too wet. And we're just going to put our cucumbers in there.
And you left the skin on.
And I left the skin on, that's right. Now, if it's Persian cucumbers or English cucumbers, you can leave the skin on. If it's a traditional cucumber, you could peel it. It's up to you. Next, we're going to add some shiitake mushrooms. Now, there's three types of medicinal mushrooms. There's the shiitake, the reishi, and the maitake mushrooms. And so the shiitakes are the most easily available. So we're going to put in some shiitake mushrooms. And because I've cut these really thin, the dressing is going to naturally marinate them and make them nice and tender. So
Did you take the stems off?
we took off the stems, yes. Took off the stems. And we're going to put in some wonderful cilantro, which is also a great thing for helping to detox the body. Put some cilantro on top there. Okay. And of course, we've got to do our sea vegetables. So here's our hijiki, and you can use hijiki or arame. And so this has been reconstituted and drained. So we're going to put our hijiki on top. Now you could do silky sea palm if you want, but hijiki and arame are two of my favorites to use in this salad. And then I've also taken some dulse seaweed. And you can get all of this at Rainbow. You can get all of this at Rainbow. And, or where I live in Pleasanton and Nob Hill Foods, you can get a lot of things, or at your local health food store. So I'm taking the dulse seaweed, and I've chopped it, and so I'm just putting that in there. Don't worry, everybody, you're going to love it. I don't know if anybody's nervous, okay?
No.
All right. Thank you. Okay,
We're excited, not nervous.
so now that you've got your salad, I'm going to have my assistant go ahead, and there's another dressing in the back too.
Okay.
They're going to go and they're going to toss this, and I'm going to show you how to make the marinade. So, is that okay?
Yep.
All right? Thank you. And so then you taste to make sure it's all flavored. And then you got all plates.
So,
What? Well, I like eating a huge bowl of salad. I think that everybody should eat huge bowls of salad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you ever use wakame or nori, pieces of nori?
You could. I usually cook my wakame. I usually use it cooked, or when I'm making a raw seaweed salad, I use wakame. But for this salad, it's more delicate with the hijiki and the arame. But like I said, you could also use the silky sea palm. You know,
And
which
what
is,
did you put in this one?
this one I used hijiki and dulse.
Do you massage your kale at all? I heard some people say.
Yes, usually I do massage it. And with this salad, you just toss it, and while you're doing the tossing, you're kind of also gently massaging. And so let me show you how I make this dressing. And this is really great. So the base of our dressing is nothing artificial. It comes from nature, the orange. So we're going to use the orange as our base for this dressing. So go ahead and take it. Now we do peel the orange, of course. And so this is going to add some thickness. Now instead of just using the juice of the orange, I'm using all of the orange because I want to be able to get also some of the pectin and the fiber in here. And it just helps to add to the flavor of the dressing.
You
So
put in the seeds?
Huh?
The seeds.
Sure, as long as they're organic.
And the ones you have.
But there's no seeds in this orange.
Oh.
Did you see a seed?
No.
Okay. But you could use the seed. All right, and so we're just.
I heard that seedless watermelons were a GMO.
I don't know. I mean, I've been able to get organic seedless watermelons. I don't know.
That they were genetically modified to make the seeds.
Oh.
That's what I heard.
I have no idea. Does anybody else know about that?
It's their
I don't think,
hybrids.
they're not GMO, they're just cross.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the hybrids.
Okay. So we've got our orange in there, and we're also going to put in our ginger knob. So we're going to peel it because we want to get those Asian flavors. Now, what else constitutes an Asian flavor? Anybody?
Peanuts, sesame seeds.
Sesame seeds, right? So we're going to use some sesame seed oil,
Tamari, definitely.
and definitely the tamari, right?
Chili.
And chilies, that's right on, sister. And so I'm using a Serrano chili. Now, if you don't like the heat, you can take out the seeds. But this is what a Serrano chili looks like. It's not a jalapeno. A Serrano is more mild. And so for this dressing, I'm just going to leave the seeds in. But if you don't want it as hot, you remove the seeds and you remove the white membrane. Okay?
How long does this dressing last in the fridge?
Oh, you can freeze it. I have jars frozen in my house.
But if you leave it in the fridge a week?
If you leave it in the fridge, it'll last at least a week. Yeah, it'll last at least a week. But once the dressing's been put on the salad, you do want to consume the salad within the next couple of hours.
Yeah,
Right.
But you might want to make a big batch of the dressing so that you can make,
So you
have
can do
salad
it,
sauce.
right?
Yeah.
And that's what I prefer to do. Now I put in 2 garlic cloves, but I'm also going to put in a teaspoon of garlic powder. So we're going to put that in there. And now we're going to add. Let me see. Oh, it's over here. For our sweetener, I'm going to put in some dates. Now, if you don't want to use a date, you can use like coconut nectar or agave. I choose not to use agave because agave, I think, is pretty similar to high fructose corn syrup. So I prefer not to use it. And why not use nature? Why not use a date that's given from God, instead?
Would you use stevia?
Stevia is going to leave a bad aftertaste in the dressing.
Yeah.
Now you could use stevia, like when I do my tea, when I make my tea, I'll use stevia, but not in the dressing. And sometimes in my baked goods I'll use stevia, but if I can get away with the date, I'd rather to use the date.
Plus you get the thickening of the date.
Pardon me?
The date will make it thicker.
It makes it a little bit thicker, yeah, but not anything too
There's so
difficult.
much, punch in a little date, right? There's
Oh,
so
yes.
much, like sweetness in it.
Oh, right, and there's also great minerals in the date too. And so we're going to use some tamari, and this is gluten-free, because one of the things I shared with you is that I got off of the wheat and I got off of the gluten. So I use a combination of the low-sodium tamari and the regular tamari, so that it's not overly salty. Okay?
So just all low sodium is not tasty enough?
You could use all low sodium, but I don't know how, my husband who's in the back, he always says, Lisa, you gotta put more salt in your demos, because most people like salt. And so, I'm trying to be complicit. All right, and then I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of the sesame oil. If you don't want the oil, you could put in 2 tablespoons of toasted sesame seeds, but the oil really helps too. Really helps to bring it out.
Helps to what?
Really helps to balance and round the flavors, especially the toasted sesame oil. Okay.
So yummy.
All right.
Put in the garlic cloves.
Yeah, I had 2 extra.
Got it.
In case I dropped something, I put some extra. Okay, and here we go. We'll turn it on. And the juice. There we go. Okay, and so now you've got a beautiful dressing. Okay, and you're going to be tasting it in a little while. Who's excited about that? Okay. Who's excited? Okay, so now in the last 25 minutes that I have for my presentation, I wanted to talk about a few snacks, about some healthy snacks that you can have. So one of the healthiest snacks you can have is to take a coconut, a young Thai coconut, and then just go ahead and open it up and drink the water out of it. The water is nature's Gatorade. So that's why I love being able to drink fresh coconut water. And you can get it in a can, but nothing compares to getting it right out of the coconut. And you want to make sure that your coconut doesn't have any mold spots on the bottom or any soft spots on the bottom. And when you go like this, you should not be able to hear the water sloshing around, because that shows that it's an old coconut. And if we have time, I'll show you one of my fancy tricks on opening it. But one of the other things that is really nice is this product called Choco Raw. Now this is not chocolate, this is superfood. And it contains so many fantastic things. It's very low glycemic. It has in it the cacao, the maca, lucuma, which is also the lucuma, which is a fruit from Peru, can also be used as a sweetener. This is a very nice low glycemic sweetener. And this has in it Himalayan salt, cordyceps mushroom, which I take every morning, which I believe gives me vitality. It helps my immune system. It has cinnamon, Himalayan salt, and cayenne, and maca, which is excellent for the endocrine system and your hormonal health. So I'm going to give everybody a sample of this. You want to try this?
Yeah.
Okay. And also this is from Bright Earth Foods. You just have a little snack. You just take a little bite of it. Yeah, you just take a little bite of it, and this is from Bright Earth Foods, and I'm going to give everybody a little taste of this, and they've also given me 20% off coupons for everything on their website that I'm going to give to all of you.
Can you pass the jar? Oh.
Well, they have to sample it first. Oh, here, get all the samples of that.
This is
Yeah, don't you know what to
delicious.
do.
This is so good.
You like that?
Oh, I love it.
Oh, good. Good. Oh, good. I'm glad you like. Oh, and the cracker. Hilaria, they're supposed to get a cracker with it.
Where are the crackers?
The crackers are in there.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and give them a cracker too. Okay? All right, we'll make sure the people that already got the salad get the cracker. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thanks. So another thing that I like to do as a snack is I like to make my own raw superfood chocolate. And when you're making and there are people that didn't get smoothie, we have some extra smoothies up here. If there are people that did not get any of the smoothie. Okay? So what we're going to do is normally I would melt this. I would melt the cacao butter in the sun or in the dehydrator. But to do this demo, I'm going to melt it on this little thing here. And I'm also going to melt it with some unsweetened carob chips. And one of the things about carob is that carob is naturally sweet. It's just sweet from nature. So when I make my chocolate, instead of just using all cacao, I like to use some carob as well for natural sweetness. Okay, like that? Okay. So we're going to heat that up.
She doesn't want it to end.
She doesn't want it to end? Oh, God. That's exciting. She said she doesn't want her experience of eating the salad to end. And let me tell you this, everybody. When you're eating, you want your taste buds to be joyful. You want your taste buds to sing. You want to be full of joy when you're eating. And processed foods are not going to bring you joy. The way that raw foods, I'm going to use that in the next demo. Oh, okay. Okay, sure. So here's, oh, good, I'm glad. Yes, it's working. So, right, so this is the cacao butter, and this is like the fat from the cacao bean. And so you can also take this, melt it, and rub it all over your body. But for this demo, we're going to put it in the chocolate. Okay? If you want to rub the chocolate I give you all over your body, you can do that. And then we're going to have the raw cacao powder that we're going to put in there. And the raw cacao is very high in antioxidants. And it also, it's high in protein and healthy fats and carbohydrates. And so brighter foods make some really fantastic raw chocolate. Now here comes the superfoods piece, because I said it was sugar-free and we're doing the superfoods. So I have several superfood items that I'm going to put in here. But while this is melting, let's go to the next situation. Okay? All right. Okay. And so does everybody like the cracker?
Haven't had it.
Can you bring out a few crackers?
Yeah,
These people didn't get one. So the cracker, it's a raw cracker, and its base is tomatoes, and it's seasoned with za'atar spice, which is a Middle Eastern spice. And I have the recipes in my 2 recipe booklets. I catered the raw vegan dinner in 2010 and 2011.
Great.
Thank you.
Great.
And I have my booklets available afterward, which have a lot more of my recipes in there. And because I don't have a booklet this year because I'm working on getting my book out. And the book is Lisa's Cook and Uncooked Book, Healthy Recipes to Make Your Taste Buds Sing. And that's why I said that, because food that you eat should make your taste buds sing. So as a matter of fact, I like to do giveaways. So who came the furthest to be here today?
Where's the furthest?
The furthest miles.
San Anselmo.
San Anselmo,
New Jersey.
New Jersey. Anybody come further than 3,000 miles to be here? Anybody here from another country?
From India.
From India? So do you live here now? But New Jersey? Anybody further than New Jersey? Anybody further than New Jersey? But she never So New Jersey, come up here. So you came all the way from New Jersey to be here?
Yeah.
That's wonderful. I'm going to give you, this is a $15 jar of raw chocolate. All right. Okay.
Goji berries and
Goji berries. Okay. And so I have another little giveaway here. Let's see, for the youngest person here, who's the youngest person is going to get a bracelet? How old are you?
16.
Is there anybody here younger than 16? Come on, 16. You're the oldest? Okay. Here you go. You're welcome. And then, for the oldest person, all right, we'll do the oldest. She said, let's do the oldest. For the oldest person here, I'm going to give a jar of coconut cardamom almond butter. This is a $15 jar.
I'm 95.
Okay. Is anybody here over 70?
She's 90. Oh, wait, she's 90.
Oh, she's 90? Who's the oldest person here?
I got 63 here.
63, 90? Is anybody here older than 90?
Who's 90?
Right here.
I'm running for Miss Universe.
Okay. All right. But don't worry. I'll have some giveaways for everybody here. As long as there isn't more than 80 people in the room. Okay. All right. So what I'm doing, and like I said, I'm melting this on the burner. But normally I would be melting this. In the sun, or I'd be melting it in the dehydrator. So this is the cacao butter and the carob. So we're melting it. Trying to get it all melted here. Valeria. Yes. Huh? No. You can stir this to get it all. Okay. All right. So in our raw chocolate, she's stirring.
Yep.
Okay.
There you go.
So, or should I come over here so you can see better?
Yeah.
Should we try to move it over?
This thing?
Or move the pot?
Oh, the pot, okay. I think it's ready.
Okay, just go ahead and come over here. And then you stir while I put things in there.
All right.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. Now we're going to put in our ingredients. So the first thing that we're going to put in, because we melted our cacao butter, the first thing we're going to put in is our cacao powder. And so we're going to put in 5 tablespoons of cacao powder. Now you can do this with your kids or your lover, or yourself. You don't need to have anybody do. 2. Okay. 3. And you want to make sure you get all the lumps out. 4. Okay. 5. Okay. And so you want to do the almond butter? Too? All right, do that one first. And then, Janet, can you help with the almond butter? Okay, thanks. With the apples. Okay, how many did I put in?
5.
Okay, so we got 5 of them in there.
You work so good together.
I know, we work good. I just love her. And that's great. When you cook, you want to be in a joyful place. And it's great to be able to prepare food with a joyful heart and with somebody that you love. Everybody agree with that? Okay, that's right. So,
It'll taste better.
and it definitely is going to taste better. So we're going to put in 1/4 teaspoon of Himalayan salt. And this is a natural colloidal salt. And in a moment, I'm going to give some of this away, and that's $15. So we have to think of a category to give away. Okay. Who can speak the most languages?
Yes.
Okay.
Who has the best attitude? Who is thankful and joyful? I
Yes.
like that.
Who's the most grateful person
Yes.
here? And so we're going to put in a dash of cayenne. Okay.
What was that?
A dash of cayenne.
That's the last thing.
A dash of cayenne. We're also going to put in some zeolites, and zeolites is like a natural earth product, and consisting mostly of bentonite, the clay, which is good for detoxing the body. So we're going to put that in there. Of course, we're going to put in our spirulina, because I love that spirulina, everybody.
Did you say moringa is?
Oh, I'm gonna tell you in 1 second.
Oh,
Let me do, okay?
sorry, I thought.
Oh, that's okay. So we've got our spirulina, right? Now, we're also gonna put in our cinnamon, and cinnamon is a great antioxidant, and you should have it every day. As a matter of fact, Dr. Stephen Pratt, who wrote Superfoods RX, he recommends eating a teaspoon of cinnamon every day. Yes, because of its anti-inflammatory properties. And also it tastes good, right?
Yeah.
It tastes good. Now, remember I told you about being joyful and happy? Well, one of the superfoods that I take every day is called Mucuna pruriens. And it is a nervine tonic. And it helps you to feel joyful. Nervine tonic. Right. It just helps you to feel, it helps you to feel happy.
What's it called?
Mucuna. I'm not a doctor. It also helps your libido, your brain, and makes you feel relaxed. Now, of course, this is a herbal product. I'm not a medical doctor, but I do feel it does make me feel good. It does make me feel good, and so I'm gonna help you feel good. I'm gonna put some in your chocolate. Is that okay? All right. This is the Mucuna.
Oh, that's the Mucuna.
That's the Mucuna. Okay. Then we're also going to put in some moringa, and moringa is good for your overall. It's good for your overall immune system support, and I take it every day. And I feel that it helps my immune system.
Is it a root?
The Mucuna is, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, okay. Moringa. Okay, now we have 2 more ingredients to add. So our sweetener. Now this, believe it or not, this is a Thai coconut sugar. It's a cross between like a coconut nectar and a palm sugar. And the reason we're using this is because it's going to dissolve in the chocolate mixture. Whereas if we use just palm sugar or another, it could be kind of grainy. So we want this to be, meltable.
Thai coconut sugar?
It's called Thai coconut sugar, right? There we go. Put that in there.
Never heard of that.
Yes, this you can get through Divine Organics. And this is a wonderful product, and it comes out of Thailand.
It's maybe a little bit like the coconut, the powdery coconut.
Well,
sugar.
it's not so much like the palm sugar.
Coconut.
It's
The dried stuff.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Is there also a liquid nectar?
What? You could use coconut nectar as well. Right, you could use coconut nectar,
Or
and then
the dry stuff, the dry coconut sugar stuff, the dry stuff.
the dried coconut sugar, yeah, you can use that. And then the last ingredient we do is we're going to put in the vanilla. And you can do this on low on the burner. But since we're doing the demo right now, we're doing it like this. So our next step is to be able to put it into the molds. So what we're going to do,
Perfect.
I'm sorry to reach in front of you, is we're going to pour our goodies into our little squirt bottle. You ready to squirt?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. I'm almost done. Okay. So we're just going to pour it in. And so let's bring out, are we ready? Oh, because we've got the chocolate candy that we got to get out. They're in the refrigerator. Let's get out the chocolate candy. Okay? Yeah, yeah, let's do the chocolate candies because this one isn't quite ready yet. All right? Well, okay. Judith? Judy? Okay. Judy, would you hand these out to everybody? Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. And then we're going to go and we're going to squirt it. Will you bring it over here? Okay. And so then we just take it, and these are little ice cube trays and an ice bath, and then we're just going to put it into our molds. And this is just a nice little treat.
Oh. So good.
Syrup or sweetener?
You can use organic maple sugar. And would you finish this for me?
syrup.
And this-
Delicious.
You like that? Isn't that a nice little treat?
Love it, love it.
And there's 2 tablespoons in the whole thing. And the coconut sugar is low glycemic. It has a GI of 35. So much, much lower than sugar or corn syrup, which is in traditional chocolate. And most of the chocolate that you buy on the market is 50% sugar. And that's the dark chocolate. That's the vegan chocolate that they're telling all of us, oh, it's okay, you're a vegan, eat lots of chocolate. Well, it's not always the best option. Yes. And so Janet is going to pass out some of the chocolate raw. Some of the chocolate raw, and because it's kind of cold, you know, we don't have, it's more like a peanut butter usually. Okay. And so I've got a few more things to give out. So, what did we want to say? The most joyful person?
Yes.
Who would say they're the most joyful person?
Everybody.
Well, I don't know. We can't. That's too qualitative. We need something more quantitative. We need some more quantitative.
Okay.
Who's been vegan the longest?
There you go.
3 years. 7 years vegan.
Lifelong.
25 years vegan. Anybody got longer than 25 years vegan? Come on now. You did it. Okay. Thank you. Okay. All right. Who speaks the most languages?
Oh, yeah.
Anybody here speak more than 2 languages?
Yes.
Oh, how many languages?
I speak Hindi, Bengali, Sanskrit, Tamil, French.
She speaks 4 languages. Fluently.
And English.
You speak 6 languages? 6 languages fluently? Did she speak them fluently? Do you speak it fluently? Here, she won a prize, so let me give you. So you want to pick a chocolate? The Princess Brittle? Or the white blueberry or the cashew? Okay, yes, okay. All right, and the next thing that we're giving out, we're passing out apples with the raw almond butter on them. And so Gem Organics makes different types of almond butter, and it's really wonderful flavors. And that's a really fantastic snack to be able to have an apple with almond butter, and that's helped get me through my weight loss journey. And the chocolates that I shared with you, when I make those, they're very tiny. And if I have 1 or 2 little pieces of that, I'm fine. Now, a bar like this, a bar like Lulu's, this can last me for a whole week. The way I used to eat like about 4 or 5 of these at a time. Now, if any of you, just to end with, if any of you are struggling to lose weight, it is possible to do it and to end your food addiction by getting off the sugar and by getting off the flour. And additionally, changing your attitude and being in a joyful state when you're eating, and exercising has also helped me a lot too. Now, if I mentioned, if anybody is interested in getting any of my booklets, like I said, I catered the raw vegan dinner in 2010 and 2011. I normally sell them for $8 each. I'll sell them for $5, and I'll give you a free Lulu's chocolate bar, which is worth $5. So if anybody wants to get one of my booklets, and you know what? All of you have been so wonderful. I feel like I want to give you something else too. Everybody that's been in your heart, why not? Everybody that's been here in the audience. Everybody that's been here in the audience. Okay. Oh, sure. Thank you. Everybody that's been here in the audience. Oh, sure. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta tell everybody what I'm going to give you. Either one. This one is more Middle Eastern. This one is more Southwestern. 2010 is more Southwestern. And this one is more Middle Eastern inspired. So I also want to give all of you 2 things, actually. Everybody who's been here the whole time. I want to give you a Superfoods perma chart that tells you about all the superfoods and how you can learn more about them. I do want to pass out the
say that her dinners, that are there, they were phenomenal. Every
Oh, thank you,
taste, the whole table couldn't stop talking about it.
Thank you very much. And, oh shoot, I forgot to pass around my list. And please sign the list. And I'm going to be having a GMO event at my house in Pleasanton coming up later in the month. Plus, I'm also having a potluck out in San Ramon that I'll be catering. And so please come up and sign the list. I'll let you know that information. Also, the info when my book